Volcanoes are everywhere. They form chains along the tops of mountain ranges, under the sea, and even at the bottom of lakes. But while most volcanoes erupt with lava flows that can be hot, but are rarely deadly, every so often one will blow its top and change the world. Known as supervolcanoes, these earth-shattering events have been responsible for some of the largest mass extinctions in history, including the one that wiped out the dinosaurs. And they continue to shape our planet even today. So here's how supervolcanoes work and why you should care. So what makes a volcano a supervolcano? Well, it's all about scale. There are 7 criteria used by scientists to define them, which include things like the depth of the magma chamber and the amount of silica in the magma. But it mostly comes down to how big an eruption can get. According to the Volcanic Explosivity Index, or VE, a level 8 eruption is considered supervolcanic. This is defined as an eruption with an estimated magnitude of more than 300 cubic kilometers of material ejected over an area of more than 100,000 square kilometers. To put this in perspective, Mount Vesuvius, which buried the Roman city of Pompeii, had a VE rating of 5. Meanwhile, the 1815 eruption of Mount Tambora in Indonesia, one of the largest in recorded history, was a VE 7. So it takes a lot to make the super list. But when it happens, the effects can be catastrophic. When a supervolcano erupts, massive amounts of ash and gas are shot into the atmosphere, blocking out the sun and causing global temperatures to plummet. Pyroclastic flows and mudslides bury everything in sight, and earthquakes shake the ground for weeks. It's no wonder then that supervolcanic eruptions have left their mark on Earth's history. Take the Lake Toba eruption in Indonesia, which had a VE of 8 and occurred around 74,000 years ago. In a single day, 2,800 cubic kilometers of material was blasted into the air and spread across Southeast Asia. Ash fell as far away as Australia, India, and the Pacific Islands. And within a few years, the entire planet was shrouded in a thick haze. The eruption caused temperatures to drop by as much as 5 degrees Celsius and lasted for months or even years. While there was some life on Earth at the time, including early humans, the event is thought to have drastically reduced genetic diversity and may have triggered an ice age. More recently, the Yellowstone Supervolcano in the United States had a major eruption around 640,000 years ago. The massive blast covered more than 170,000 square kilometers in ash and pumice and triggered earthquakes that shook the continent. Scientists estimate that the eruption released between 900 and 2,500 cubic kilometers of ash, pumice, and rock. But despite the devastation, life went on. Mammals quickly returned to the area, and by 150,000 years ago, humans had repopulated the region. But not all supervolcanoes are created equal. For example, while Mount Toba is considered to be the largest volcanic eruption in the last 2 million years, others such as Yellowstone are more active. The Yellowstone Supervolcano has had 3 major eruptions in the past 2 million years, whereas Mount Toba has only had 1. What's more, the magma at Yellowstone is less viscous than that of Mount Toba. As a result, it flows more easily and doesn't contain as much gas, which means it's less likely to explode violently. Yellowstone National Park is home to the world's largest active supervolcano. It spans an area of 9,000 square kilometers and contains the largest high-temperature geothermal area on Earth. The park is also home to more than half of the world's geysers, including the famous Old Faithful. And it's no wonder that the area is such a popular tourist destination. Every year, more than 4 million people visit Yellowstone to see its amazing geysers, wildlife, and scenic beauty. They won't find any evidence of volcanic activity at the park's main entrance, but if they keep exploring, they'll eventually find it. Near Norris Geyser Basin, they can see steam rising from a hot spring called the Dragon's Mouth. A little further on, they'll come across a group of steaming vents known as the Grand Prismatic Spring. These colorful hot springs are home to a variety of bacteria that thrive in the heat. The colors range from blue to green to yellow to orange and red. As the water cools, the bacteria produce different pigments, resulting in this beautiful array of colors. As visitors continue their journey through Yellowstone, they'll eventually reach the upper geyser basin, home to more than 100 geysers, including Old Faithful. The upper geyser basin is also home to the world's largest concentration of active bison. If visitors are lucky, they might even see a bear or wolf. But the main attraction at Yellowstone is the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone River. The river has carved a deep gorge through the park's central volcanic plateau, creating one of the most spectacular sights in North America. Visitors can hike down into the canyon to see the river up close, or take a mule ride along its rim. No matter how they choose to experience it, the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone River is sure to leave visitors in awe. Of course, Yellowstone isn't the only supervolcano in the world. There are at least 12 others that are large enough to cause global devastation if they were to erupt today. Mount Vesuvius, which destroyed Pompeii, was actually a supervolcano, as was Mount Toba in Indonesia, which may have triggered an ice age. Even more surprisingly, some supervolcanoes are active. Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines, for example, had a major eruption in 1991. It sent more than 7 cubic kilometers of ash and pumice into the air, and killed more than 800 people. Mount Vesuvius, the volcano that destroyed Pompeii, is located near Naples in Italy. It is one of the most densely populated areas in Europe, with more than 3 million people living in the Naples metropolitan area. If Vesuvius were to erupt again today, the death toll would be catastrophic. Cities like Naples, as well as parts of Rome, would be destroyed, and millions of people would be killed. In Indonesia, Mount Toba sits in a country that is home to more than 270 million people. An eruption of this magnitude would undoubtedly cause widespread devastation, killing hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. It would also have a significant impact on the global economy, disrupting trade and causing widespread famine. Yellowstone National Park is home to a diverse range of animals, including bison, elk, wolves, bears, moose, and coyotes. The park is also home to a variety of smaller animals, including foxes, rabbits, marmots, and chipmunks. More than 300 species of birds can be found in Yellowstone, including bald eagles, ospreys, swallows, and warblers. The park is also home to a variety of reptiles and amphibians, including snakes, lizards, turtles, and frogs. Yellowstone National Park is a World Heritage Site and one of the most popular national parks in the United States. Each year, more than 4 million people visit Yellowstone to see its amazing geysers, wildlife, and scenic beauty. If Yellowstone were to erupt again, the entire United States would be affected. The immediate area would be devastated by pyroclastic flows and earthquakes, but the rest of the country would soon experience a winter like never before. Ash and fine-grained tephra would blanket much of the western United States, causing widespread crop failure and livestock loss. Global temperatures would plunge as much as 10 degrees Celsius for several years, leading to widespread famine and possibly even a new ice age. But it's not just the direct effects of a Yellowstone eruption that we need to worry about. In the years and decades following the eruption, there would be a series of secondary effects that would also cause widespread devastation. For example, the eruption would likely trigger massive landslides and mud flows that would bury entire valleys and towns. The weight of the debris would cause the ground to subside, creating new lakes and altering the course of rivers. In addition, the eruption would cause widespread soil erosion, leading to massive dust storms and the loss of fertile topsoil. These secondary effects would cause even more damage and suffering, making the aftermath of a Yellowstone eruption truly catastrophic. So while it's unlikely that Yellowstone will erupt anytime soon, it's important to remember that it could happen at any time. We should be prepared to evacuate the surrounding areas and to provide aid to those affected by the disaster. For now, though, we can enjoy the park's amazing geysers, wildlife, and scenic beauty. Just remember to keep an eye on the skies. You never know when the next supervolcanic eruption might occur. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more content. And if you have a topic that you'd like us to cover in a future episode, let us know in the comments below.